Most faceless channels fail not because they are not doing enough or not because it's a bad niche or not because of all the reasons you might see. They fail because they fail at content planning. A lot of faceless channels are treating content like a treadmill where they're just doing one thing, putting one foot in front of the other, going, 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 and not really getting anywhere. They aren't really planning out their long term strategy. They aren't planning for growth, nor are they planning for profits. And really, they're just posting away and are hoping one day the algorithm just picks them up and some miracles happen. So I'm going to show you today how we plan for our faces pages on a monthly basis. So we're not touching our pages every single day. We're not changing and pivoting at a dime every time something comes up. We're using a very strategic strategy using creator search insights and using search data, our analytical data, and of course, what's going on in the world right now. And we're putting together a plan that builds us for growth, profits, and helps us not get burned out along the way. Because we're not doing one at a time. We've got a system that is going to create 45 different pieces of content for you every single month with just about 10-15 minutes of planning. So let me show you what we're doing over here. So let's talk about content planning, especially for a faceless channel. A lot of people who get started with faceless channels just think of about it like a treadmill where you're just constantly going on a grind, just going, 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 never actually moving forward anywhere. And they're just really putting one foot in front of the other. And while that's a way to do faceless, that's a way to do content one thing at a time and kind of do it as you move along. That's also a really big way to get burnt out, right? And a really, not say a really good way, but it is a good way to get burnt out, good way to get overwhelmed, and a good way to fail. I hate to say it, right? So I'm going to show you guys what I do and what I teach in my content planning workshops about content planning for on a monthly basis and doing it mostly for my faceless channels. So, first thing I do is I go and I look at three most important things. What performed well last month? What is doing well, like in terms of keywords for this month or like right now when I'm doing the research? And what is potentially going to be trending or a hot topic during that month. And I put those in and then I start to what I call build them out, right? We have this thing we call the 353, where we take three topics, break them down into five questions and three variations. And you can mix up that number if you want to. But 353 gets us 45 pieces of content, and it is exactly what we need for a full month of content. Of course, you would double it, triple it if you're doing a higher volume. So let me go over to my screen. So this is one of my faceless channels, and this particular channel talks about recipes. So we're going to, so I open up a Google Doc like this one, and this is basically based on exactly what I did last month, right? So I make a copy of last month, and that's what I use to start building out this month. So last month we talked about love and Bridgerton because it was February. First, I'm going to put my keywords at the top here. I already pulled up some keywords right before jumping on. I'm using TikTok's creator site search insights. That has become best go-to tool for keyword research, and it's free, right? But also we're doing short form content. We're doing a lot of TikTok content, so that is important to us. And then our TikTok goes over to YouTube, but TikTok is our primary for this particular page. So another reason why we're using TikTok. So Creator Search Insights, there's a lot to it. I have a whole playlist on TikTok that I will make sure that I copy, put a link for in the comments so you guys can see. But you come in here and it gives you some trends, like what topics are happening right now. It gives you content gap, meaning these are topics that need more content. They don't have enough, they want more content. Searches by followers. When I have enough followers, so depending, not every page is going to get this, but based on your followers, if you have enough followers, you will see this information. Each one, which is why I really like this, like what to do for breakfast, when you click into it, it'll give you additional information about demographics, which is nice, other related topics, which is really, really nice. It'll show you the top videos. So if you even need video inspiration, or if you like what exactly is really working for this particular niche, and then the other recipes to explore. So I am going to look at actually like this healthy breakfast for work. So we're going to put that on our list. Two of the things I'm looking at that puts it on our list is one, it's already got a pretty good search volume, 256K, and it's up 1000%. So it's trending upward right now. So I'm just going to put that over here. And this is before I even open up my content hub, right? A lot of people, and you want to put those exact keywords, make sure you do that. Healthy breakfast for work. And some of these, like depending on the particular keyword and information they have, some of them even give you more like information about creating the content. This isn't doing it on this one. There's also more information on the mobile version. So on the mobile version, some of the keywords will even give you like how you could do a post, what are some hooks that are popular, and additional information in addition to just giving you like other keywords. So we've got that one. We only need 3 to 4, so we're not going to do a ton. I think that's the other thing. People want to keyword research so the cows come home, and you absolutely just don't need to do that, right? The other thing you can do, which I did not do on this one, but I need to go back to that one. The other thing you can do is mark for later on. So I can mark this here, and then that way I'll be able to see it on my mobile version. And so I'm just going to grab 3 quick keywords and we'll get back. My favorite recipes, that's an easy one. Things I've cooked recently. Well, that's not really doing but so well. Easy high protein meals. I'd seen this one earlier and I wanted to make sure I came back to this one because I can do a lot with this one right here. So easy high protein meals. All right. So now that I've got a couple of keywords, now I'm going to do what went well. So for this, I can go into my analytics and do a deeper dive, but I'm simply just going to look at what went well on the page. So this is most of what I did in February. In February, we had a little bit of a slow month, but like we did this healthy eating series that honestly didn't do too well. It did. Do you see these numbers, right? It did not do well at all. So we're not going to continue that particular series. We've been doing a lot better with cookbooks, and cookbooks are also what we sell in TikTok shop. So we definitely want to incorporate more cookbooks this season. And you see this cookbook did well. The Easy Sheet Pan cookbook did well. And previously the anti-inflammatory did well, but I don't know if I'm going to continue that one. But definitely the sheet pan cookbook did really, really well. And the Canna cookbook did well as well. And I'm even going to go back and look in January, see what did pretty decent in January. It seems like just the one-off fun posts are doing, which is why we do them to bring up some nice stuff. Bridgerton did really, really well. So maybe people are still talking about it. So I'll probably throw that back in there a little bit for this month as well. So what went well? We saw Bridgerton, cookbook, what was it? Sheet pan, cookbook. And one that I saw that was like a standout one that goes really well with some of the keywords we've already picked is this one here, right? So the best sheet pan baking recipes. So we're going to do more of that. And it might not all be best sheet pan baking, but I'm putting it down. So that's what went well. And then my last thing I'm going to look at is what's trending. And this could be looking at other videos that are happening in the niche. This could be looking at just things happening in the world. Like what's trending is really based on what do you know about your audience. So I know what's trending right now is spring. I know because I know we like bake sales in my audience. So spring bake sales are going to be back out. We did one in the beginning of the school year and it was really, really good. So we're going to do another spring bake sale and Easter. I almost forgot about Easter coming up, right? Easter's coming up. So they're going to want Easter content. And now someone's going to say, well, Easter isn't for another month or so. It's only March. You generally want to start, especially for holidays, you want to start about 2 to 3 months before the actual holiday. Like I promise you, some right now is already putting out summer content. I'm not going that far ahead, but you want to put out stuff far enough advance so that way when they are searching for it, that they'll see that particular content. So this is my breakdown of what we're going to focus on. So from this, And I can make this nicer and more formatted, all that other good stuff, right? So from this, I am now going to decide what are going to be my top three topics. So I really, and I'm going to combine things because we want to sell, in our case, we want to sell more cookbooks. That is our goal, right? And so I'm going to look for spring recipes in my cookbooks. I am going to look for, so I'm just replacing the topics right now. I'm going to look for high protein recipes in my cookbook. And you know what? Work recipes. I like that. So we'll do. All right, so we're gonna do grab and go for work recipes, and I'm gonna focus on. I don't only focus on recipes on this channel, but for this month, I am gonna focus really heavy on recipes because I really want to sell more cookbooks, right? So we're gonna definitely focus really heavy on recipes. So once I've got like, okay, so my spring recipes, I've already got cakes here, so I'm gonna keep cakes, and I'm just gonna use the cookbooks. And actually, I'm gonna list the cookbooks that I want to make sure I look for. So Jubilee, I think, has some nice cakes. Then there's a baking cookbook I use. I'm gonna do some canna baking, probably do more on those. And I'm gonna do, I already did a sheet pan baking, but I think I'll do more sheet pan baking. Let me go back and look to see how that did. Oh, that was this one. Oh, so that did do really well. I wasn't even paying attention. That was baking right there. So sheet pan baking. And then for sheet pan baking, I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail. All right, so we got pretty good there. We got really more than we even need there for that one. This time we're gonna do to talking about spring. So we'll maybe do some salads. And I'm even gonna go back over here and I'm gonna look. I'm just gonna look at salads, see if any good keywords come in up for that one. All right, so these are actually some pretty good ones. We're literally gonna go with this. Scrap what I wanted to do. We're gonna do, what was it? Egg salad was a good one. And I'm just gonna make myself a note so I know where to go back. Egg salad was a good one. Salad dressing, just salad recipe. And I'm gonna click in. I just want to see what additional information it gives. So this is interesting. So like egg salad is doing really well in the Philippines. So I might find some more traditional Philippines recipes, or I might decide like, okay, that's not necessarily the one I want to do. But this one, like I do like that it also overlaps. So egg salad also overlaps my high protein meals and with avocado additions. So both of those are things I know that I can work with. And avocado, vegetable salad. I don't know how I feel about vegetable salad. Probably because it does not sound good to me, but it is a big one. And it's another big one trending really high in the Philippines right now. And I'm even looking at like some of these, while these are good videos, notice how some of them are much older. So I don't know if I want to go with this one. Yeah, these are all like 2023. I'll do a few of them. I mean, won't hurt me. And really, it's once I get to the cookbooks, if the cookbooks have more recipes, if they've got recipes, then we're in. If they don't have recipes, then we're not in. All right, but we're going to put vegetable salad. All right, so I got three there. And then we said high protein recipes. So I'm going to do very similar. Well, for high protein, I know I want to do chicken. I already did one for fish. And we're going to do beef. Ironically, I don't even eat beef, but of course, I talk about it on my pages. If y'all want it, I'm here for it. All right, so I'm even going to put here, I'm going to go deeper into that high protein keyword we looked at before. High protein wraps seem to be really popular. I actually am going to switch this up a little bit because I'm heavily into this sheet pan cookbook right now. I want to see what else could be trending for sheet pan, see if there's anything there other than just sheet pan meal. I'm just going to add this to my keywords to use. And these keywords that I'm using here become part of what's part of the actual content. Oh, sheet pan cookies. That actually goes right up here. Oh, I don't really like that one, but I'm thinking doing how to clean sheet pans. Since we do talk, I don't want to talk only recipes. So I'm going to put this as like an extra topic. All right, we're going to go back into the last one. Pierogi sheet pan. Now, this is the dangerous part where you will find, I'm sure I'm going to put this as other ideas because you will find other ideas when you start, going into the like crates of this whole keyword research. So how to clean sheet pans. What was the other one I just saw? Pierogi, sheet pan eggs. All right, let's see if that's another another one. Okay, we're not adding any more to the sheet pans, I promise. We're gonna just look at now our workplace recipes. So this is specifically breakfast. Doesn't have any other associated words. So this one, although this trending really well, it's a very low search popularity. So I'm not even gonna spend too much time on that. And I'll probably wind up. But the other thing that happens is you wind up reaching other keywords with the keywords that you're hitting. So of course, if I'm talking about breakfast for work, I'm going to wind up saying something about what to do for breakfast. So I'm not as worried about hitting that exact keyword. Now let's look at breakfast essentials. So like this one, while it's breakfast essentials, you see none of them are really a recipe, right? So that's not going to do but so well for my particular content. So this one doesn't seem to have as much information for it. Doesn't mean it's a bad keyword. It actually means it's probably a better keyword. So I just did a quick search for it. Mostly just healthy breakfast, healthy breakfast. So maybe instead of doing work meal, I should focus on breakfast meals. Again, don't worry about the spelling. It's really for you. This one was for kids. Oh, these are good ones. And I can do both of these healthy low carbs and healthy carbs. They can pretty much just be a one shot deal. All right. So once I've got all this done, right? So I've got quite a few ideas. I probably should have been counting, but I wasn't counting at the time. But I've got quite a few ideas here on what we're going to focus on. And so now my next step would be to, in this case, grab my cookbooks because that's where the content's coming from. I would go and film based on what I have here. I would make sure I filmed some clips for each and every one of these, and then it would go on to the creation mode, right? If I didn't have to go do the filming, or I'm going to do filming later. So right now, I'm going to bring this over to putting this into my actual content plan. We use Flowlu. I built out the same thing in Notion. And so if you look in the comments, there's access to a Notion template that does exactly what you're going to see here on Flowlu. It's just what we use for our full business system. I have some videos on that too, but let me know if you have questions. But so first thing we're going to do, we do things in a monthly sprint. So we've got our March sprint. The sprint has officially started. Right now, I only carried over one thing that was from last month, which was this thing on Trader Joe's discontinued items for this page. And so I'm just going to now just start from my list here, adding in each of these items. And so I really am adding in like here, like Jubilee, whatever it is that we're doing. So, and I also share this with my team, so it's just easier for them to see. But like for this one, we're talking about spring recipes for cakes from Jubilee. So that's what I'm going to put here. And because we do a lot more than our 45, I like to for each topic, do 3 or 4 variations. And they might just be the exact same style of video, but like we'll use different clips. If we're doing recipes, like say we're doing 5, I'll film 15 and we'll do 5 of this and 5 of that, but the exact same title and subject and all that type of stuff. If it's something that's like different, like say if it's a history topic or something like that, I'll do 3 or 4 different angles of whatever it is. But I try to break it out so it's even more than what I'm putting here. And so each one isn't just one and done. Each one is like 3 to 5, maybe sometimes 10 and done. So, oh, okay, I did hit enter. Once I've entered it, I can now go in the way we have this set up and I can make whatever needs to be done. So this is a clip video. I'm going to set it as a variation. We estimate this is going to be 3. That's how we kind of track how much work is getting done. And we have multiple pages. So this is specifically for the mom life page. Right now, it's going to be assigned to me. We've already done the research. So I'm moving this right into post ideas. Actually, I'm going to move this right into create because we're going to create this right after this video. All right. And then I would just continue down until all of these are in there, at least the ones that I want to focus on. I don't have to do them all at one time, especially if I'm assigning to my team. I can put like 5 or 10 at a time, and then I can assign those to my team while I still work on the others. But this is really how I do my content planning, especially for my Faceless pages, based on the creator search insight. So literally just using search insight in order to decide what I'm going to create. And then from that, going and creating it, right? I do pay attention to some of the other things that's going on, like what went well and what's trending. And then we just go in and put on our ideas. And this is all we will do for this month. Anything else is going to be put on for next month, or, just some other part of the calendar, maybe, June, July, whatever part of the calendar, if anything else comes up. But this alone is all I need to do. And I'm done for the month. So let me know what you think of our content plan. This is a strategy that we use once a month, go through each of our pages, map out our at least first 45, right? First 48, right? Map out our first 45, and then we blow it out and continue to build from there. If you're in our community, Build It Faceless, head on over there. I've created another detailed video on the next steps of how we actually create the content, right? So next thing, now that we got our plan, I'm going to show you how we get the clips, how we put them together, and how we go about creating and scheduling our content over in our Build It Faceless community. Let me know in the chat. Let me know. Give me a fire emoji if this is a plan that you can use in your business and your content to help build either your Faceless or even your Face Forward channels. This planning process is going to help you get that first 45, which is more than enough of what you need each month. All right. See you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.